Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's do it again. Let's have some more Christmas crafty fun. Stay tuned. So for those of you who are stopping by just to check out the channel but haven't yet subscribed, listen to my birds outside. They are chirping that you need to subscribe. What are you guys waiting on? Go ahead, subscribe. Don't let those birds down. And I promise you, if you do subscribe, you are going to have some of the most crafty fun that you'll find on a YouTube channel. And while you're having fun, you'll be learning some of the best crafty techniques on YouTube. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and make sure you have the notification bell set so that you'll know when I upload. And guys, here is today's crafty goodness project. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, especially where I am, because we are celebrating Christmas in July. And this is one of those pages in our paper pads that I get the most questions about. What do you do with those large prints that just don't seem to fit with the other pages in the pad? There are a lot of things that we can do with them, but today we are going to make a sweet little gift set using the big prints as our bag, and then we're going to create a coordinating little box. So you've got the complete gift set here, and whether it's Christmas or not, you can still take those pages from your book and turn them into a gift set ready to go. Just fill this with whatever you want to fill it with, drop in some candies, whatever, and voila, you've got the complete set. You have everything you need for gift giving. You've got your tag, you've got your gift, you've got your bag. That's really all you need unless you want to throw in a card. Otherwise, you are good to go. Let's make it. So today we are going to be working from a paper pad that I bought at Michael's. Now I can't remember if I bought this last Christmas or the Christmas before, because I've been going through some cleanup in my studio, and of course I'm finding a whole bunch of things that I hadn't actually used. And today I broke the seal on this, and this is the pad that we're going to be using. This pad has a lot of awesome prints in it, and for those of you who are in the US, if you have access to a Michael's, the name of this pad is Glisten and Glow, and it is one of those hot buy pads, and maybe they'll have it again this year. But it also had a lot of those large print awkward pages in it. It has the 6x6s in it. So it had a lot of things that might be a challenge to craft with. Today we're going to craft with some large prints. So to make our project, we are going to craft with this beautiful black and gold that says Joy to the World. And this is 12 by 12, and we're going to have 2 sheets of that. And then I have a 10.5 by 11 inch piece that we'll use to make our box. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the bag. So to make our bag, on 3 sides, we are going to score at 2.5. So we'll score at the bottom, and then the 2 side pieces. We will not score at the top. And what I have found with most pages that have the large print, especially if they have a centralized print or they have words, if you want to make a bag, if you do 2.5 on 3 sides, usually you will end up with that the largest part of that print centered on your bag. So that's just a good rule of thumb. If your bag is offset, then of course you'll just have to play around with it, but it can still be used. So I am going to bring in the other one, score at 2.5 on 3 sides, and I am not sure what is going on with the birds outside. They are in an uproar, and that usually means there's some type of predator activity in the backyard, whether it's a snake, and that would be bad, or crows. When they show up, sometimes things don't always go right, but something's going on out there. So now let's fold and burnish all of our scores. All right, guys, so once we have both of these folded and burnished, what I am going to do is I am going to take them and put them together because I want to punch a hole. So that my hole is going to be even, I am just going to use some of my little paper clips just to hold this in place. Then I am going to use my Marvy oval punch. And guys, this punch has to be at least 15 years old, if not older. So I can't tell you where I got it, but it is a Marvy oval punch, and I believe that it's about 1.5 inches wide. So I am going to take it, place it in, and I usually stand up for this part. Okay, so with this punch, I am able to punch through 2 thicknesses of paper, and I'll show you guys exactly how I did it. So with most punches, you are not able to punch through 2 pieces of cardstock at the same time. There are some newer punches on the market that will allow you to do that. But if you have these old punches, and this one is very old, like I said, you can actually trick it into letting you punch through 2 pieces of paper, and I'll show you how. So I've double folded this cardstock. I am going to place this in just like this. And then the first thing that I do is I start on this end and I press down until I hear that snap. Then I hold it, I don't let that come up. And then I come to this end and I press down until I hear the second snap. And that will allow me to go through 2 pieces of cardstock at one time. Now, I don't know if this will work for all punches, but I do know that for this particular punch style, whether it's the square, the circle, the oval, I have been able to go through double thickness using that process. Okay, so now that we've got our holes placed and we know they're even, I am going to take off my little clothespins, and now on one of these, I am going to remove these 2 corner pieces all together. So I will go up to that score mark, drag down in 2 directions, and remove it. Same here. Go up to that score mark and remove it. So now we have this. Then on this piece, I don't want to remove these corner pieces, and I don't want to cut down this way. I am simply going to cut out this way. So I'll turn it to the side and I'll cut. And I'll do the same thing over here. So I'll pull it out and cut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make just a slight angle here and a slight angle here. So now we are ready to put our beautiful bag together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece right here and just join it to that piece. So I am going to use my awesome Reptile Glue. Place some glue on the bottom of this. You can do this with tape, but if you do it with tape, you will not have any wiggle room. You'll have to get that placement right from the very beginning. So with this, I do have some wiggle room, and all I'm going to do is place this down and maneuver it into spot. When I think I have it where it needs to be, I'll flip it over. And I'll use my spatula to get everything nice and straight. Now we can put this together. Totally up to you because the back and the front are the same. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it. So all we need to do is place some glue on this little tab here. Bring that up and get it matched. so that we have it nice and flush at the bottom. Then when we do, you can lay it down. Use your spatula, bone folder, ruler, whatever you have, and smooth it out. So then I'll take my glue and I'll do the other one. So I'm just going to get that nice and smooth, and I like to run my finger just to make sure nothing is protruding. And again, I'll use my spatula to get it stuck. Now on this part here, you can actually use tape if you want. I like to use glue because it's just easier to work with, because it gives me that wiggle room that I need. So I am just going to take my glue, make sure that I get it on my ends, and I will fill in the middle. Then I can take this, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm matching it up so that at the top of my bag it's nice and even. If the bottom happens to overhang, we can fix that. So then I'm going to go in on the inside, and I am just going to get this stuff. And I want to make sure that my edges are laying nice and flat. So I'll do the same thing over here. I am going to take my glue, place it along my edges, and then I'll fill in the middle. And then we'll take this piece, making sure that we have it nice and straight at the top, and we can get it stuck. I'll go on the inside, make sure that I have a very nice stick on this. And now we have a gorgeous Joy to the World bag. So what you can do at this point is, if you want to close your bag, just make sure that when you start pinching, you've got evenness here at the top, just like this, and then just start squeezing and go down with it as far as you want. And we have got a gorgeous Joy to the World bag. And so now we have this sweet little tag, and all I'm going to do at this point is I am going to take this tag, add it to my bag, and just tie it off into a knot. I'm not even going to tie it into a bow because I really want that seam binding just to dangle, just like that. So now we have our bag. Let's make our box. Okay guys, so to make our box, we're going to start with our piece that measures 10.5 by 11. We're going to start on the 10.5 inch side, and we need to score at 2, at 5, at 7, and at 10. Then we're going to rotate it to the 11 inch side, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, and then at 2.5. Flip it to the opposite 11 inch side and repeat. Score at 1/2 inch and at 2.5. So now we need to fold and burnish all of our scores. Alright guys, so now that the scores are folded and burnished, you are going to notice that at the top you've got a narrow, then you have a wide. Here at the bottom you have a narrow, then you have a wide. And then here you have a narrow, but you don't have those. So this is our glue flap, and this is where we want to start. So we will have a long rectangle, and then a square, and the corner. We need to get rid of those, and this is one of those projects that whatever I do down here, I need to do up here. So let's go ahead and remove these corner pieces. Okay, and these ends here are identical, so it won't matter whether I call it the top or the bottom, because we're not using a directional pattern. So everything that we're doing here, we're going to do here. So the first thing that we're going to do on everything is we are going to free up our tabs. So let's go ahead and free them. And then I'm going to flip it over and do that here. So all I'm doing is going up to that second score mark and dragging down. So now we have this, and where we have these two on each end that happen to be slightly more narrow than these are the side panels. So the first thing that we want to do to these is reduce them in size. And once we have reduced them in size, we are going to angle cut them. So now let's turn it to this end and do the same thing. So we want to reduce these in size, and then we want to angle cut. And guys, I'm going to leave in one of my boo-boos because I'll show you exactly what I did. So on this piece here, I accidentally started cutting it. That's no biggie because this piece is going to get folded in anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting it. Don't cut yours. I'm just cutting that off because I had already started cutting it. So when we take this and we put our box together, wherever that glue flap is, and you can see my glue flap is right there at the back, then the top flap that's with the glue flap is actually the piece that needs to fold over and fold in. These pieces that are in the front need to be folded down. So that's why my little blooper was no biggie. So I am just going to fold that down. And this just gives us a nice fold over finish here, but it also adds a little bit of additional stability to our box. So I am just going to get that stuck. Now that we have those glued down, we are now ready to glue the box together. So I am going to take my glue, place it on my glue flap, and now I can take this and I am just going to join it so that my score here matches when it starts to wrap around. And then once I have it down, I'll use my spatula to get that nice and stuck. And then one other thing that I forgot to do is on these little ends here, I am just going to take off a sliver. And really, I did not take off much. That is what I took off right there, just a tiny little piece. And I'll do the same thing here. And because I did it up here, I need to do it down here. So again, you can see the tiny pieces that I actually nipped off. So what we have here is yet another flat fold box. So when we put it together, we're going to have an awesome gift box. This looks like a cologne box. This looks like a candle box. Whatever you want to put in it, totally up to you. So now I am going to take just a nice little tag. I'm going to place some glue on that tag. Put it down. Then I am going to use just a few pieces of my wonderful ephemera from Prima, just to give that a little bit of bling. And so now we have another box to go with our awesome bag. We have a gift ready to give, complete with the bag and the box that will hold whatever gift you want to put in it. Don't y'all think that is just yummy delicious? I know I do. And like I always say, any season, any reason, any gender, change these papers and you're good to go. So I am going to bring the other one back in. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have room for all of it on my desk, but you can see just how gorgeous this is and how easy was that to make. Very, very easy. Only took 3 sheets of paper and we walk away with a complete gift set. So I hope that y'all have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, have a great day. Be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.